All right, so I have been late in doing it, but finally you have received this document, which is the result of our archivist's um, risky, almost brain fried data integration. And the telepathic bonds that all of you share means that although your other characters don't understand the raw information that she's picked up or the way that she has connected it, but you're able to pick up her conclusions, her impressions, and her general sense of uh, the result of putting it together. Okay, so that's not very easy for your characters, but but now you're seeing, for example, all of you know that there is this superstructure, technological superstructure that you're um, that you're close to. So that this map that I provided, um, you are in tunnels, partly artificial. Remember the floor, um, that are associated with this weird long structure. Um, Actually, the archivist's understanding doesn't currently reflect its state of repair at the moment. So you'll notice that it's, kind of got areas that are broken open or, um, obviously not in great shape, but you don't know that. You've got sort of the basic schematic structure of it. Um, and then there's also all of these weird older documents that you had access to, and you also are recognizing that there are two communities with slightly with imperfect understanding of one another. The hive's understanding is current right now. The facility's understanding of the hive is old and seems to be about the time when the contact was broken off. And then you have that one much older document. Um, so I have a few biological things to talk about regarding your characters. If you are spending some time recovering and surviving using this place as a shelter, um, all of you are definitely in need of hygiene. You'll all need to, I mean, you are all used to group, almost automated routine processes by which you take care of yourselves back at the hive. And in the absence of those and in the absence of the proper equipment, you're probably feeling uncomfortable and grimy and, unaccountably, you know, un, you know, unaccountably dirty. Um, so especially after fighting and things like that. So, uh, as I mentioned before about the food, I sort of imagine that your character might simply turn to do the thing that you're used to doing and be confused again because the facility for it isn't there. Um, and the fact is, you do share a group mind, so a certain amount of awareness of this about each other doesn't make things any more pleasant either. The There's a few other interesting points. Uh, None of your characters are reproductively active physiologically. Um, and although you know fully about different biomechs, different body parts, they don't mean very much to you. And anything to do with uh, the the reproductive functions and stuff like that, that's all handled by the breeders. And so the whether and how being away from the hive is going to have an effect on you, or rather will stop affecting you, and when and how lots of physical functions that you're not familiar with may start to reappear, is an open question at this time. So that is why, although I don't know if I was clear about this, your character's biological sex is determined already based on what you have said about the character, whether you've said he or she. So just that's fixed, but it's not like your character understands the implications of that. So if you actually don't think that you've indicated this in any way, then make it up now. So let's see. Other, I guess the one thing that I think would be on everybody's mind is you're recognizing that the one caste that you do not have in this little group is a breeder, and you are keenly feeling the social and physiological gap, the absence of what the breeders do for everybody in the hive all the time. And without it, it's like that's really like that's a big gap. You want to kill something, you want to fix something, stuff like that, you guys are fine. But you're quickly realizing you are missing an enormous functionality in the absence of a breeder here. So that's all I have to say at this time about those things. And is everybody caught up with how they wanted to spend their experience points and things like that? I'm pretty sure that you were, now that Helma's done it. And I am going to... Oh, and does everybody understand that on the map you're at the lower right-hand corner and have entered that tunnel just above it is more extensive than is on the map. So you've actually come into that tunnel from somewhere else that's not actually pictured. And then that's where you went to that drop off that you can see, that very steep drop off into that chamber with the structure in it.
Where's the map?
It is in the document.
The 0 document?
Yes.
Okay. Given our situation and given that we now know where we are and where we should be going, we probably should go. Because that place will have more possibilities for us to find what we need for every day. And it may be possible for us to make it our own. There may even be others. If the information about separating the groups from each other is something they acted on, which might explain why we can't sense the hive any longer, we should try to go there.
One thing is for sure, there isn't any food left.
Even the
Except
food I
for-
got from dogs.
Yeah, the dingo,
Mhm.
which I still don't want to touch, even
That's
though
right.
it was like
Mhm.
approved to be like edible, apparently, or so someone says. I don't know if we can trust it, but yeah, no, definitely we should move on. This is
Trust me,
just like-
Mhm.
I'm a medic.
Now you are.
Yeah, now I just became a medic. But can we move with the vehicle, or is it stationary? We couldn't move this one, right? We can't take
This
it with
one
us.
is too big,
Okay.
and it will not move anymore.
I can try to fix it now that we know more about what it is.
To fix this is not impossible, technically speaking, but it is something that would take a great deal of replacement parts and secondary equipment. For example, it would have to be lifted so that its undercarriage and wheels and things like that could actually be serviced. At the moment, a great deal of those underparts are collapsed and ruined because of the weight settling down upon them. I mean, and over years. So it's, again, yes, somebody could, but you by yourself probably cannot.
Maybe we can fix some kind of transport, because I'm not very well to foot.
Mhm.
And there are things we should take with us.
Tell me what you want to do.
If the others are willing to move at all and in the direction of the unknown facility instead of back to the hive, I would suggest that we try to find or build some kind of transport. Because even though I have a map, I'm not entirely sure about distances. I'd assume I can extrapolate something from the structure we are in that is obviously noted on the map. But
Yes, your map does not really think that it is a ruined cavern either. Your map seems to think
No.
that it's some kind of domed structure.
yes, so I can't be sure about distances or anything. It might be farther than we think.
How many of us are good at telekinesis?
2, I believe.
If we should try together to put down the vehicle that's up the hill together.
You can try.
I have telekinesis, but I only have it as a prior, so it's not. I don't know how good the chances are. More than it's a little bit above 60%. No, yeah, no, below 40, something like that. 40% chance, yeah.
I have it as a focus, and I have that +1 that doesn't cost me something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Correct.
then I'll have to spend a stun, which brings me up to 6.
No. Well, I think your characters have managed to rest a little bit after the experience of hooking you. I'm assuming that there is at least one period of rest and food for those who are willing to try the new cuisine,
Oh
and
yes.
also so yes, I mean certainly everybody should lose at least 2 stun,
Okay.
if not more, maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know how it is because we had the rest and then I was at like 0 and now I'm suddenly like with 1 wound and 5 stuns again.
Right.
Because
Let's take
of
3 hours. Let's take 3 hours. Everybody get rid of 3 stun.
Okay.
And then the question is, what then do you want to, accomplish? What do you want to, what do you, if you want to rest more, you can. If you want to start to get to work to bring the little archivist car down the hill, you can. And if you want to start preparing for the journey, you can do that too. So please let me know, because right now, all I have is a clock, and my clock has certain things on it that we haven't reached yet.
If resting, oh sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I only think that we should take down the vehicle if we can at least try to do that, because that's only I have, and then I want to talk to the soldier, but we can wait with that.
Okay.
That's the only plans I have.
Right. At the moment, 343900 is now integrated into the group mind and has, received the same information. And I suppose that I should tell you what you're picking up from him, which is that it is at this time they're very much in that state of disorientation, which you all remember. But also has a strong need to, okay, well, now I know who to protect. Now I know who to, now I know who the enemy is. Anyone who tries to hurt any of you. Certain. It's almost as though they're retreating into the role of soldier in their head, right? To be as specialized as possible in order to feel like they're part of this.
Well, both they and 115716 are wounded, so they probably should be resting as much as they can.
Correct.
And we others, I would very much welcome it if we can get my little vehicle down here.
Okay, so Max and Helma, let's get those rolls going.
Everybody.
Let's get those rolls going. What you need is telekinesis. Your biggest issue is range, which is more than throwing. So therefore, you will be decreased in your effect. You'll be subtracting 5 from your final number. So because of the range, and furthermore, you will need multiple levels of success. And what you really want are very high numbers on your dice, because that's what will determine the kilograms. This thing is reasonably heavy. It's not, it's like a little, as I said, its vehicle features are somewhat like an all-terrain motorcycle, but its function is to carry the body of the archivist lying down and, basically hook them up to a bunch of, data management and things like that. So it's a fairly, the vehicle part is fairly heavy.